There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and we see that right now there's a trend of things being exchanged. Goodness is being exchanged for evil, and it has been, right? This trend has been going on for some time, and so it's not anything new, but we're seeing it as, a wave that's going on, okay? So we're going to look at this, founding this on the scripture here, as our foundation. We're going to use the scripture. It's Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe to men mighty at drinking wine. Woe to men valiant for mixing intoxicating drink, who justify the wicked for a bribe and take away justice from the righteous man. And I thought, man, aren't we seeing that today, right? And so I put some images there that you see. And these are just a few of some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. But as you can see, just from these three images here, that this is exactly what's going on. And one of the things I was thinking about, right when I was putting this together, we see that, God is saying, woe to men mighty at drinking wine, and woe to those men valiant for mixing intoxicating drinks. And so start thinking of that today, right? On a side note, you start thinking, the element of getting drunk, or the element of mixing strong drinks, and the element of actually mixing drinks for other people and getting them drunk. The sin in that. So anyways, that's just a side note. But let's get into this. So one of the very first things we're going to talk about tonight is our good old president, right? How could we not address this today, right? How could we not? Trust me, some pastors are not talking about this stuff. But how could we not, right? How could we not talk about Joe Biden? I mean, he's still our president, right? It's questionable, right? Maybe, possibly. All right, so I don't know. You guys, we're still trying to figure that one out. But technically, yes, right? But you're seeing this, right? So no one is above the law. You guys remember when he wrote that, right? He's not talking about his son. We know that, right? He's not talking about his son, Hunter. He's talking about Donald Trump. But I got this little montage. You're going to see this montage here. I don't know. You'll see it here in a minute. So it's a video. Check it out.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law, not even the son of the President of the United States.
No one is above the law.
The fact is, no one is above the law.
The idea that no person is above the law is a bedrock principle of American justice.
No man is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one else is above the law, including a president.
Nobody is above the law.
That no one, not even the president, is above the law.
And that no one is above the law.
No one is above the law, and our president is not above the law.
No man is above the law, and no person is above the law.
No one is above the law.
That, nor any other title, puts you above the rule of law.
No one is above the law.
That is what it means to have a rule of law. That is what it means to not have a king.
They're not above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
So that no one is above the law.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
The law is the law, and no one should be above it.
Yes, nobody is above the law.
No one's above the law. Except, you remember Judge Dredd? He said, I am the law. Was that Judge Dredd? He is the law, right? Very interesting that they're stating that no one's above the law. But Biden pardons his son, Hunter, despite previous pledges not to. And I found this tweet by Josh Hawley, right? And I thought it was good because he said, never forget, while Hunter was selling access to the big guy, Joe Biden's administration sent SWAT teams to homes or pro-lifers, recruited spies in Catholic parishes, treated parents as domestic terrorists, and prosecuted Trump, the most lawless administration in history. You look at that, right? Even like I said earlier today, you can see, I don't know if maybe afternoon, there's talks that Biden's going to, well, there's a rumor, right, or a little hum, I guess, that maybe he'll pardon Fauci. There's a couple other ones too. Pre-pardon them, okay? And you start looking at that, you're like, okay, if I pardon you, then that means you're guilty. Then you must be guilty. He'll say, well, no. See, Trump is going to retaliate against us, so we want to protect our retaliation, protect us from retaliation. That's the point of argument they're going to make. We know, hey, you guys are guilty. That's why you want to be protected, because you know you did something wrong, right? Because if you're clean, you say, hey, look, I have nothing to hide. Go ahead, right? I can stand, right? Unless obviously there's something crooked, right? So, very interesting point. We see that his son, so Hunter Biden, gets pardoned because he was convicted. But he gets pardoned, right? And not even just pardoned, but he got pardoned for a span of time. I think it was since like 2014. So anything that was done in that time, he's been pardoned for. Imagine that, right? 10 years ago, you get pardoned from everything in the last 10 years. I mean, I might have a parking ticket that I need pardoning from 2014, right? But anyways, that's so weird. But look at this, and this is a good point by Josh Hawley, right? He says that Biden weaponized the FBI, right? SWAT teams to homes. No, that's not true. That can't be true. You guys are just MAGA. You guys are MAGA church, right? You guys are disgusting church. That's what you guys are. That doesn't happen, right? I got proof. Yes.
Keep in mind, he pled guilty.
And he pled guilty. Thank you, Terry. Yes, adding that. He pled guilty, right? So, anyways, that's a whole, that whole case, the thing is disgusting. It's disgusting, you can see. But we can't show it, right, obviously, in church. But there's disgusting stuff that he did. Anyways, let's look at this. Let's talk about weaponization of the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please? Is that sufficient to identify there's only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my...
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to...
So you can show me your name or ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk to you.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Okay, well, you see our badges.
I need to see... Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name, or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you happen to be the one that made the post.
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like, so you're familiar with... So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any other
No, you're
threats.
coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken. And that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law. And to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you cowards. Drive away. Drive away.
Thank you for your time.
You're not welcome. You should be embarrassed. Embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing.
All right. Right? Oh, we'll talk about this guy in a minute, but hold on. So let me give you some commentary on that video that we just watched. So that guy, he made a tweet or a post on X, right? And what he said was stupid. Okay, he said something about something about Kamala Harris being eliminated would do somebody a favor, or something, a hero, or something. It was dumb, right? Yeah, you don't make dumb posts, right? Well, what happened was he got the FBI sent to his house, and that's what happened. And I was thinking, I was curious, like, I wonder if the FBI goes to all the other folks on the other side. I'm curious on that. But I'm pretty sure that I can make my own conclusion on that. But anyways, what he did and what he said was right. He didn't break any laws, right? He didn't make any threats. So again, he was within the legal frame. Now, was it wise to do something like that? Probably not. But he's using his freedom of speech. That's what he's doing, okay? And so thank God for the Constitution, because that's what protects us. Other nations that you see, like in the UK, they'll come right into your house. If you make a Facebook post, they'll slap some cuffs on you, man. They're going to take you down to jail. They're going to get you medically evaluated to make sure you're not crazy, and then, off you go. But thank God we have the Constitution for us. It's a hindrance for those who want to infringe on our Constitution, right? But again, you see the weaponization of the FBI coming and knocking on people's doors. Hey, can we talk to you for a minute? Right? Can we come in? So I found several videos on that. I didn't have time to show them all to you. But I wanted to show you this guy. His name is Christopher Cooney. He's a January 6th J6er guy. And he was arrested, put in jail. But this guy right here, you can't see the text, but he's a war hero. He's a patriot. He was an officer in the U.S. Army. He's a 50-year-old father, 100% disability. He was in the Marine Corps, sorry. But he's a Marine veteran, an officer. He did multiple tours of duty, Purple Heart, hardworking family man, pristine work ethic. He's got children, little kids. He's got a master's degree in business admin, working on a second master's. Seems like a wholesome guy, right? Well, on January 6th, he went over to the Capitol. And because he's a combat veteran, he's a guy who thinks like, hey, I'm going to go and make sure nobody messes around over there. And so he did, and he went over to the Capitol just to make sure that no one was going to, cause an uprising or anything like that. And so he went, and when they got there, as you see, that doors were open, and they were able to walk in. And that's what he explains. He says, yeah, well, he did a podcast. That's how I found this guy. He did a podcast, and he's explaining, like, yeah, they let us in. And we were looking, we were watching things, just to make sure no one was messing around, but they let us in. But he did, they had like 13 or 14 counts stacked against him. And the lawyer said, hey, look, this is not a winning case here. So he did, I think he pleaded to trespassing or something like that on federal. He got 2 years, 45 days, or maybe a little bit longer. And then he got 2 years house arrest, okay? But check this out though, right? Yeah, okay, if you're gonna say, hey, look, I was there. I'm not gonna lie, I was there, and they let us in. If anything, okay, yes, I did, break that law, right? But they wanted to stack these laws against him. And during the course of this interview that I saw, he was explaining, he said, look, he goes, the FBI was out in front of my house for 2 weeks watching me. They knew my pattern, they knew when I was coming and leaving, they knew everything about me. He said, if there was an issue, why didn't they just come knock on my door? I say, hey, look, man, can you come down? We need to talk to you. We need to figure out what's going on, right? For 2 weeks, they were out there watching him. And again, this guy is married. He has at this time, I think he had 2 little kids, okay? But instead of doing that for the guy, this is what they do.
I got the door. You guys go. Moving. Stay right here. I'll tell you when you bring him in. Yep.
He just had surgery. He'll be in our house.
Where is he?
He had surgery on his left wrist.
Left leg. Okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, bud.
It's okay, bud.
He had surgery because he had cyst. He just wanted to be
Wife's
on
barefooted.
Friday.
Okay.
He had surgery. So you guys have to be really careful. He's not.
It's horrible, right? It's horrible. So instead of coming to his door and saying, hey, look, can you come with us? We need to take you down to the station, or we need to take you down to the office. They take 3 armored vehicles, one on the side of the house, one in the back, and one in the front, charge his house with the SWAT team. You see that tactical gear? The kid is crying. You look at that guy right there. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, no, it's not. Right? And I'm holding back some choice words, but it's like, no, it's not. You see the wife there's barefooted. It's cold. The wife was pregnant. And after this thing, after this whole ordeal, she had a miscarriage. She lost the baby, right, because of these jerks. And you just, again, you think about, again, you look at the exchange for good, the exchange from good to evil, right? On one hand, you have these laws that, been broken and conviction and admitted to, but from Hunter Biden, but he gets pardoned, right? And then you have this case here. We have a guy that's like a patriot, hardworking guy, family guy, right? Trying to do the right thing, okay? And he gets his home raided. Let's move on. This is my last point on the FBI. The FBI didn't raid Hunter Biden's bedroom. They raided Barron's bedroom. Think about that. That's how morally corrupt these people are. Joe did not pardon his son because his father, who loved his son, like the Mockingbird media and Democrat liars are saying, Joe pardoned Hunter all the way back to 2014 when Hunter started biolabs in Ukraine, starting with Burisma, and began money laundering dozens of LLC shell companies through business deals in many foreign countries, including China. Hunter is not Joe's son. He's the business partner. And Hunter sold his dad's power and influence for millions while Joe was the VP and beyond. That's why the wide sweeping pardon from 2014 to now. That's from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on one of her tweets or X posts, right? So you see that, okay? You see that such a vast difference of something good being exchanged for something evil. Let's look at our next one here. I don't know if you guys saw this a few days ago. They had the very first memorial for Hassan Nasrallah. You guys know he was eliminated, thank God, right? He's caused a lot of tragedy, was responsible for a lot of deaths, U.S. deaths as well. So this was published in Arabic Lebanon data website. It says a widespread of resentment and outrage among the Lebanese Christian community following the memorial ceremony for Hassan Nasrallah at the site of the assassination in Dahia. This event was heavily promoted, and few hours before its occurrence, with Nasrallah's picture having the phrase, light of light, a description reserved only for Christ, as depicted in the Christian creed of faith, things were made a lot worse because of the other pictures of the Nasrallah with the inscriptions, Master of the Universe and Our Father in Heaven. It's totally Antichrist, right? So you see, again, they're exchanging something good, which is God, for something evil.
إن شاء الله نحن مستمرين بهيدي المقاومة وبدعمها ومتضامنين مع كل الموجودين والنصر حليفنا هلا وبعدين ونحن حنحافظ على نهج السيد حسن نصر الله.
محتاج إلى دعائكم حتى يستمر ويدفع الناس ويهدي الناس ويرشد الناس
Interesting, right? As they weep for their leader, you see the candles and the glistening of their face, of their tears, and again, you see this promotion of evil. I'm going to show you a video that's contrast. Now, this is a disturbing video, okay? And so if you got little ones, if you're watching, if you have little ones, you might want them to go, all right? But I'm going to show you this video. It's a few minutes long. You guys might have seen it, but it's a video of a captive being held by Hamas.
קוראים לי עידן אלכסנדר, ואני אסיר בשבי החמאס יותר מ-420 יום. לראש הממשלה, בנימין נתניהו. אני שמעתי אותך לדבר עם עם ישראל בחדשות, ואני מאוכזב מאוד. אני שמעתי שאתה מוכן להעניק למי שמסגיר אותנו $5 מיליון אם הוא הביא אותנו חי לעם ישראל. ראש ממשלה אמור להגן על האזרחים ועל החיילים שלו, ואתה הפקרת אותם. השומרים שלנו הודיעו לנו על ההנחיות החדשות שהם קיבלו ברגע שכוחות צה"ל התקרבו למקומנו. הפחד שלנו עכשיו בשיאו, ואנחנו מתים 1000 פעם בכל יום שעובר, ואף אחד לא מרגיש אותם. עם ישראל, אל תפקירו אותם. אנחנו רוצים לחזור עם שכל שלם הביתה. הפחד והבדידות הורגת אותם. בבקשה, אל תשכחו אותם. זה לא הוגן שאנחנו נשלם על טעות שהממשלה שלנו ביצעה. בבקשה, אזרחים של מדינת ישראל, תצאו להפגין כל יום, תשימו לחץ על הממשלה. הגיע הזמן לשים סוף לסיוט הזה. Dear President Trump, my name is Idan Alexander. I am an American Israeli citizen currently being held captive in the Gaza Strip. As an American, I've always believed in the power of the United States, and now I'm sending my message. Please use your influence and the full power of the United States to negotiate for our freedom. Every day here feels like an eternity, and the pain from inside grows from day to day. Please, do not make the mistake Biden has been doing. The weapons he has sent are now killing us, and the unlawful sieges are now starving us. I don't want to end up dead, like my fellow USA citizen, Hirsch. Abba, Mikavoy, Saba Safta. כל יום שעובר, הכאב מבפנים גודל. אני מתגעגע לכם מאוד. כל יום. אני מתפלל שאני לא אתכם שוב בקרוב. בבקשה, תשארו חזקים. זה רק עניין של זמן, עד שהסיוט הזה ייגמר.
So a few elements, right? You see there, different perspectives. You see psychological operations, right? PSYOPs. You see they're influencing this guy Isaac, to perpetrate propaganda. And we don't know what's going on behind the cameras there around him, right? We don't know if they got a gun pointed at him. We don't know, whatever, right? We don't know. We don't know the atrocities that he's facing. But you see that again. This is a tragedy, right? That happened on October 7th, and we have people alive right now who are being held captive right now, and to get them out of there would be a good thing, right? It'd be something like we would cheer for, to get them rescued, right? To get them home. Like that's the hope, right, that we have for Israel and our citizens, right? But we have that element there, but then we have this element on this side, right? And so you say, again, we're replacing something good, which would bring those guys home, with something evil. This is right here in our own hometown here in Bakersfield, California. Glory to our martyrs. This is right here, right? And I asked them, like, did you see what happened on October 7th? Did you see what's going on with the prisoners held captive right now? You see the psychological operations they're doing? Do you see all that? Would you still be protesting on the corner here in downtown Bakersfield? Or not downtown, in southwest Bakersfield? I wonder, right? It makes you wonder. I would probably say they would still, because they listen to lies. They get their low information sources, right? They don't get the truth. But anyways, they're out here protesting, waving their flags, and all you can do is shake your head, right? I wouldn't engage with these people at all, but they're there. It's here in our own hometown. But this is what I love right here. It says, everybody is talking about the hostages who are being held so violently, inhumanely, and against the will of the entire world in the Middle East. But it's all talk, no action. Please let this truth serve to represent that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20th, 2025, the date that I proudly assume office of President of the United States, that there will be hell to pay in the Middle East. And those in charge who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity, those responsible will be hit harder than anyone that has ever been hit in a long and storied history of the United States. Release the hostages now. Right? Again, we have this good, we see a little bit, we see a hint of this, okay, good leadership, right? These mean tweets, right, that people were so offended by. But hopefully he can make that happen. Let's look at a few more elements here. As we've seen, the ICC, they put an arrest warrant out for Netanyahu. But look at all these other ones, right? 5.5 million killed in the Congo, ICC, sleep. 500,000 killed in Syria, ICC, sleep. 500,000 killed in Sudan, ICC, is asleep. 400K killed in Yemen, ICC is asleep. 300,000 killed in Iraq, ICC is asleep. 250,000 killed in Afghanistan, again, ICC is asleep. 40,000 killed in Gaza, half of who are Hamas fighters. Arrest him, right? You see the hypocrisy there. Exchanging, again, something good, which, hey, Israel has the right to defend himself and does the best they can to get, hey, you need to get the civilians out there. Hamas is the one that uses the children and teachers and women as human shields. Thank you. Let's look at this one here. Trump 2020. No, excuse me, Trump 2025, right? Trump, make America great again. And this was by this conservative outlet, America Post Project 2025, right? And what they're saying is, when you look at this picture, you're looking at a wholesome family, right? That's what I see. I see a wholesome family. Yeah, it's nostalgic. You're trying to get back to the values that America was once based on, right? You know, you got a dad and a mom, right? You got a family, okay? And so, but you start going, right? And I can relate to this in a sense because, you know, I grew up in an area where if you worked hard, you know, you were able to achieve things, right? And so I can relate to that, like, yeah, that's great. But when people have a problem with this, it's because they're white. And so it's racist now to even make that post. They'll say, okay, this is just Nazi propaganda. Why? Because it's wholesome, because it's family values, it's good. Is that why? Right? And so when you go, right, no purple hair, right? So you see that, right? You see, you go, if you were to click on this tweet or on X, right, you see all the threads. It's just all totally like racist, right? Everything that are speaking against this is all total racism. And it's like, what? Racist? You're racist because you're getting back to good values, good moral values of a family, right? And, you know, I don't know, I guess a white picket fence is offensive? You know, I don't know, you know? I don't know. I just don't get it, right? Or it's not even a picket fence, but it's, you know, the white fence is offensive. It looks nice, it's clean, it's upkept, right? Just because, you know, you may not have the newest or nicest thing, at least take care of it, right? It's kind of like I tell my kids, like, hey, my car might be old, but it's still, let's take care of it, right? But anyways, that's a whole side note. Let's check this out, right? So we're looking at family values, which is good, and, you know, but it's getting railed against, something that we should uphold. But let's look at this. This is Blaze Media. So this bearded lady set to fight child sex change ban before SCOTUS tells CNN toddlers can be trans, okay? To the chagrin of LGBT extremists, Tennessee Bill Lee ratified Republican legislation in March of 2023 protecting the children in the state from same-sex mutilation and puberty blockers. Amen to that. 3 teens, transvestites and their parents, later joined by the Biden and Justice, sued the state seeking sterilization, puberty blockers, and deformative hormone therapy back on kids, right? So anyways, this guy wants to rail or fight against something that which is good, right? Which is a family, a man, a woman, kids, right? They want to rail against this. They want to dismantle this. Let's check this out. I think I got a video for you guys.
My name's Ashley, and I'm excited to talk to you about a project we've been working on at the National Center for Gender Spectrum Health called My Gender Dolls. And the first of these are the bodies. Because all kids should be able to see themselves represented, we have lots of different options for skin tones and body sizes. Another layer to the dolls is the internal reproductive parts. It is important for kids to learn about what's on the inside of their bodies. Bodies are amazing, and there's so many different kinds. Let's keep layering. Clothes. We all have to get dressed. Gender expression is our way of telling the world how we want to be seen. My Gender Dolls have a lot of clothing and style choices. Kids learn that regardless of gender identity, they can express themselves in lots of ways. Every article of clothing and accessory works with all sizes of bodies. So what's next for My Gender Dolls? Well, we want to continue to hire transgender and gender diverse artists to expand the range of doll options. With continued funding, the goal is to make this resource available to gender therapists who will work with kids to facilitate gender identity and gender expression exploration. You can help support this work by making a gift to the National Center for Gender Spectrum Health.
Right? Trust me, I'm not afraid that you guys are going to make a donation, okay? It's okay. But you start seeing this, right? And you're like, why don't you just leave the children alone, right? Leave the children alone. But this is okay. This is good, right? Because the other image that we saw, that's bad. That's racist. But this is good. Being able to deform kids and being able to give them puberty blockers and have them dress in weird ways, right? No. But that's what they want. That's what is good. Okay? I got one. You guys are doing a great job with the lights, by the way. But I've got a lot of videos to show, so just keep your finger on that dial. You guys are doing great. I got a video for you. So we're gonna look at a car ad, and someone said, "Oh no." Trust me, I don't think you guys are gonna run out and go buy this car, so I'm gonna show it to you guys, okay? All right? So But anyways, I'm going to show you this car ad, and we're going to look at something, right? Again, we're going to that concept that they're exchanging something good for evil, all right? It's something good for evil. So that's the pattern that we're seeing here, okay? So there's a method to my madness, if you're still wondering, if you're still with me, all right? All right, let's let it rip. Who's going to go buy a Jaguar? All right. We'll see it in the parking lot. Right? You see that ad and you're like, okay, what does a dude in a dress with a sledgehammer, like, what does it have to do with selling a car? Right? In a dress with a sledgehammer, I just don't get that. It's foreign, right? It's foreign, but it's this idea that they're pushing on consumers. They know that people aren't going to have, the average person doesn't have money right now to buy a Jaguar except for our guy right here, all right? So anyways, let's check this next one out, right? We're going to contrast that, right? Because this right here is what's replaced what I'm about to show you, okay? Another video.
Hey.
Hey. You okay?
Yeah. Oh. Hey, love.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Something wrong?
No, but we've actually got something to tell you. Kate's pregnant.
Oh, Andy, you're joking.
You're gonna be a grandma.
Oh my God. How does it feel?
I'm scared, Mom.
Why are you scared?
About it all, you know? The nights, the responsibility, like, we're gonna need a bigger place.
Help with all that.
I know, bless you, you're so sweet. I've got this feeling that we're gonna have a daughter. Just as stubborn as her mum.
Well, hopefully not. The family's knows.
Now that's a legacy she might have to live with. She might be the reason we tied a knot.
What if I don't do good in class?
I just want to say and do the right things, you know? I want to see the world with her. I'll also be happy staying home, doing nothing, letting her be a kid.
Are you awake?
Number 32?
Thank you.
I want to see her fall in love. But I also know what that means. And I know she's gonna bend the rules just like I did. And one day, I'll have to let her go.
I think it's gonna be hot every single day.
I'm excited to hear what she learns about the world, herself.
Yes, where from?
What she adores, what she hates. I hope she likes the name we give her.
Have you thought of any?
It all depends. We like Leia.
Who's going to buy a Volvo? You guys can go rush to the car lot, right? But you see the difference, right? You see the difference in the two. And they're commercials, right? And they're meant to grab you at your emotional heartstrings. That's what they're for. But you see the heart of it. You see the goodness of that is life, right? A family. Now, they shouldn't have been shacked up. I think that's what I got from that. Should have get married first. Right? But hey, they're not, like Volvo's not a Christian company, all right? But anyways, but you see that the goodness there in life, right? Life-affirming ideas, the goodness of that, right? And you see this contrasting, striking, this weird stuff, right? Coming out of you in commercials and things. I've got a couple more, all right? You guys... You're still with me for a little bit longer, so just hang tight. Light guy, you're doing a great job back there, by the way. You're doing awesome. I know his name, but I just don't want to say it on air because, it's a secret guy. Let's check this next one out here. Again, the same theme, right? The same thing. We're looking at something good is being replaced by something evil, all right?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Lego Holiday House. We cannot wait to show you around. Come on in.
Throughout the space, we'll explore festive decor ideas and inspiring ways to gift play this holiday season.
The living room is where so many important family memories happen, and it's important for us that our decor always feels comforting, and you can see how the Lego bricks add just enough magic.
So one of the things we love is bringing the outdoors in all year round. Check this out. Jared and I created this. Cinnamon sticks were my idea.
Little pine cones.
I know. Some of our favorite holiday memories are right here around the table. Every surface in your home, it's an opportunity to do something thoughtful and really interesting. We love to give Oscar and Poppy Lego sets that reflect what they're passionate about right now, but also things that explore new passions for them as well. Like this guy.
It's the perfect way to encourage a playful environment where they feel inspired to be creative and express themselves.
Oh, I think I lost. I think that was the end. Anyways, so Lego, right? So they're not just putting this is not for adults now, this is for kids, right? Again, you see the focus on kids. Leave the kids alone, right? Let Lego sets be Lego sets, right? Instead of having these two guys trying to be like husband and wife and, trying to put on like, hey, yeah, this is the new family, and putting these poor kids in a situation where he has two dads, right? Poor kids, man. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys something contrasting to that, and you're gonna see the difference, right? You're gonna see the difference in this next one. And I'm not trying to sell products up here, all right? But you probably are gonna buy this product after this. You guys are probably gonna get rid of your Lego after this, by the way. Anyways, hang with me, we're almost done, all right?
We got it last week.
I think I know what it is. Are you serious? Oh, guys, thank you. How did you know this is
John, listen.
Light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
She's so excited. Here you go, Haley.
Happy birthday. Look at the picture of me and you, Daddy. Look at the moon. Daddy, tickle me. I am a robot. What is that?
See ya.
Everything is easy 'cause of
I love you, Papa.
you.
Men, I better not see no wet eyes out there, men. Get those tears back in there. I see you guys. I can see a lot from up here. Anyways, you see the difference, right? You see the difference in those two, right? You see something good, and you're probably going to go buy some $200 ear pods now if you can't, But you don't want to hear it. You're going to leave them out. But a couple points, right? You see how precious life is. You see the preciousness of a little child. For you guys to have kids that are grown up, you can look back when they were little and nice, but, and then but you see how precious life is. You see how goodness is and wholesomeness is, our family, and you just see the totally different, just the two feels from the videos, right? You see the connection and the warmthness there. And I think this ad, this Apple ad, I think it has like millions of views, right? And so it's very popular, and it's because it speaks of goodness, right? The goodness of humanity, the good things, the goodness of what God created, right? A family, all the good things, right? Children, life, raising up little kids. Those are all good things, right? But anyways, my goal was to stay consistent with good and evil. Good and evil. And so that's what I wanted to show you guys tonight. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. We have still a fight, folks. We still have a fight to stand for truth, right? And so we got to stay committed to that. We got to be properly orientated to God, just like I was saying on the first session. And we have to make sure that we orientate ourselves out in the world and make sure we position ourselves on the proper side of the Bible and the proper side of God. That way, when we stand before the Lord, we can be confident and say, Lord, I did everything within my power. I was obedient. I answered the call. I did all the things that you placed in my life. And then we can hear, well done, good and faithful servant. Amen. I love that.